I'm tying the black-nosed dace from The Art of Fly Tying by John Van Vliet. The streamer can be tied on anything from a 4 to a 12 hook. I'm tying it on a number 10. Thread is black, so I lay down a base of black thread. I'm going to take my thread back up to behind the eye, where I'm going to lay in a strand of red buggy yarn. It just says red yarn for the tag or tail, but I want that yarn to be the length of the hook shank so that I keep a nice even shank to wrap the tinsel body over. So I'll wrap that back to just above the barb, and I can clip out to just a short little tag end tail. I'm using silver wire for the rib, although the recipe calls for silver oval tinsel. I don't have any silver oval tinsel, so I'm going to use what I have. And the silver wire works just as well. The body is silver tinsel, and I have a bicolor tinsel. It's gold on one side and silver on the other. So I'm going to tie in the silver side towards the hook, and I have trimmed that tinsel to a point. Hopefully it makes it easier to tie in, catch in right there. So I'll just wrap that tinsel in back to the tag. Try to make sure that I'm covering up any of the thread back here at the tag end of the fly. And then I'll take my thread back up to the front. Try to keep a nice even body, and then that gold silver tinsel, when I flip it to wrap it, the silver side will show. And then I want overlapping wraps as I go up the shank back towards the eye and try to create a nice even body. This, for some reason, I'll do it again. For some reason, has proven to be almost the most challenging part of this fly. Second most challenging part is the bucktail, making sure that the bucktail is sparse enough for the fly to look right. But overlapping wraps of the tinsel, and for some reason, as I get up here to towards the eye of the fly, that tinsel doesn't want to stay tight, and maybe it is because I've gotten too thin with the underbody. Yeah, see, I've got a little lump there in the bottom of that tinsel body. Now that will mostly get taken care of when I wrap the rib, but something I would want to be much more careful of probably if I was tying this fly for show. Well, I kind of am tying it for show on the internet, but oh well. So catch that in, tie it off, clip it off, and then I'm going to counter wrap the rib so that'll come back from the back over the top, and spiral wrap that, and that'll hold that tinsel down, wrap in any places where it's kind of bulged a little bit, like right there. And just spiral wrap that right up here to the front of the fly. That's probably good. I can stop there with the rib since I'm going to be tying in the bucktail wing. So wrap over the top, wrap underneath, and then I'm going to just kind of wrap here to build a base to tie that bucktail onto. Helicopter wiggle that wire till it breaks. So the wing is brown over black over white. So I'm starting with a few white bucktail hair, and it's a very sparse wing, so, and since it's 3 layers, I have to be real careful not to put too much in, and a little bit longer than the hook. Wrap that in, cinch it down tight. And I can pick up those butt ends and wrap underneath of them. And then I'm going to clip that at an angle with the eye of the hook. That'll help when I wrap the head. And I've got that one underneath that looks kind of funny. Now it's in front. See if I can yank that out of there. I'll just clip it off. It's tied in, so let's just cut that out. The bucktail I have doesn't have good black hair on it, but this is darker than the brown. It's kind of the under hair at the tip of the tail. So again, very sparse little bit of, should be, if I had blacker bucktail, it would probably look a little bit better, but it's supposed to be pretty sparse, so just wind that in, get it tight. Keep it on top. Clip that also out at an angle. So I am stacking my hair. You can see that this brown is quite a bit more brown than the under hair. And again, I might have too much, so if I just grab the tips and pull back, I can pull out a few fibers maybe. And then lay that on top. It's supposed to be brown over black over white with the black head. And then I will wrap under there also, and over again. Get my thread up where it's not going to fall off the hook, and clip that out at an angle using the eye as my guide, and then just finish the head by wrapping up over that and hiding all that hair at the under the head. And then I'll put a whip finish on it and some head cement. I do use a diluted Goop for the head cement. I'll put the instructions for the Goop in the description. A black-headed dace, then, from the Art of Fly Tying by John Van Vliet.